Well, at the time of recording this, it looks like this Haslab engine of vengeance, brother, won't be hitting the early bird special. I mean, right now as we speak, it's at 5,900 at the time of me recording this. I'll check in at the end of this recording just to see where it's at. But essentially, there's like 2 hours left here on the West Coast for them to get this thing funded. And yeah, I don't see it happening. Now, let me be first to say, for the people who really wanted this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this didn't happen. It didn't work out the way you wanted it. And, you know, I'm very sorry that this happened. And it sucks. It really does. It really sucks that it didn't work out the way that, you know, a lot of people, 5,900 people, it didn't work out the way you had planned. And that sucks. But on the other hand, yo, fuck Hasbro, yo. I'm dancing in these motherfuckers' graves. Like, yo, fuck Hasbro, man. Fuck Hasbro. And yo, the other thing, fuck them shills, man. You know the ones I'm talking about. The shills that got their master's degree at their local shilliversary. Like, yo, fuck them dudes, yo, seriously, them motherfuckers is still out there to this hour. I just saw it. I just went on Facebook and Twitter and the gram, and I'm looking at all these dudes shilling hard. They tap dancing like a motherfucker right now. They're like, oh, come on now, you have the power. They sound like a preacher on a Sunday morning. Like, oh Lord, you have the power. You find that $350 because Papa needs a new car. That's how these motherfuckers sound. That's how they sound. They sitting around like, by the power of Grayskull, I beseech you to please fund this here spirit of vengeance. Ha! Spirit of vengeance. Ha! That's how they sound. Like, these dudes. The shills are going hardcore, man. Like, yo, they are out there. They're begging, borrowing, stealing. They're negotiating. They're sitting there like, yo, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy that they can just pledge their money. If you just pledge your money now, you don't have to hold on to it. You can just pledge your money now, baby. Come on now. We're going to get the most out of this now. We're going to get the most. Oh my Lord. But yeah, I mean, jokes aside, I think the major issue, I've talked about the major issues, but I think one major issue, a lot of really smart people, like people I would honestly, I have a tremendous amount of respect for on in YouTube. They all said the same thing, and it was one of those epiphany moments, because once again, these people, they are a much smarter brand than I think I am. I'm a pretty bright guy, but I feel like they see things a little bit better than I do from an outside perspective. And I think one of the major reasons, outside of everything else I've spoken about, is that this Haslab came too close on the tail end of the Hiss tank. This is basically dealing with Hiss tank carryover, because I honestly believe the people who would have jumped in on this, they probably purchased 2, maybe 3 Hiss tanks. I don't know them personally, but I know of people who they bought 3 Hiss tanks and their spouse got them another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know of these people. I don't know them personally, but I know of them. And I just feel like, yeah, this is on the heels of a $300 Haslab that just happened, that just closed. And you know, this thing really can be boiled down to that. But also, one very important thing is, and something I've been talking about with people in my comments from my last video, and this is very important: the early birds sucked. The early bird sucked. Let's keep it a buck. The early bird was terrible. You basically are giving us the same figure with a different head and different feet with some different painted legs. Whereas with the Haslab early bird, you were getting an exclusive army builder, exclusive to the His Tank army builder. Like, we may never see that figure ever again. Just the off chance that we don't see this figure for 4 years, that's a correct investment. You can turn around and sell that if you wanted to, because it's an exclusive figure to that set. So that in itself murdered the steam on this project. The early bird was whack. The early bird should have been Mephisto. If the early bird was Mephisto, I think this thing funds in 24 hours. If the early bird was Blackheart, I think this thing funds in maybe 24 to 48 hours. But they decided they wanted to play games, and when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that's what this is. This was a stupid game played by stupid people, arrogant hubris. And they lost. They're losing. Don't get me wrong, this thing's gonna fund. I know it's gonna fund. I wouldn't put money on it, but my heart of hearts says it's gonna fund. But because of their hubris, because of their arrogance, they are now seeing the fruits of their labor. They're seeing the fruits of the spoils. They're seeing people revolt. And so with that, I mean, we're going to see, because I think if the early bird doesn't fund, this thing is going to drop down to about 4,000, maybe 3,000 in the pledges to fund this thing. I don't think it's going to go past, I don't think for the next week, there's going to be a lot of anger in the community. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the Marvel Legends community. I got my popcorn. I'm ready to watch. I'm waiting with bated breath. You know, but seriously, yo, Hasbro, you had your chance. Mephisto should have been the early bird. You make Mephisto the early bird, this funds in 24 hours. You guys still have time to course correct, which you won't. If you course correct and say, we're going to redo the early bird, and we're going to make Mephisto the early bird, I can almost guarantee this thing will get to 12, 15, 20,000. Just off the strength of that, because people would want that. The people would feel incentivized to get that. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you angry about this? Are you dancing on their grave? Or are you indifferent? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. With that said, please feel free, like, share, comment, subscribe. Be safe, be good, and this is a Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off. Yeah, well, at the end of this, we're still at 59. I believe we're at 59.66 on the countdown here to the early bird special. But yeah, I will keep track of this as the night goes on, and if anything fun happens, I'll update the videos. So yeah, peace.